Coming up on this week's edition of NCBA's Cattlemen to Cattlemen.
It's our final episode, and we've got an important new world screwworm update with the CEO of NCBA. Plus, see how a good grazing plan can help secure the future of your beef operation.
And now, a special edition of NCBA's Cattlemen to Cattlemen.
Hello and welcome to Cattlemen to Cattlemen. I'm Kevin Ochsner. For years, this show has been a trusted voice for cattle producers all across the country. And tonight marks the end of an era, the final episode of our program on RFD TV. Thank you for being part of this journey with us. And joining us now is NCBA CEO Colin Woodall. Colin, NCBA has really been the only trade organization that I know of that has had its own television show. And I'm curious, how would you describe the impact the show's had on either NCBA or the industry itself?
Well, the impact has been tremendous. This has given us a platform to make sure that producers across the country understand the grassroots producer-led work that NCBA does. That includes talking about what's going on in Washington, D.C. over the years, and we've had some really hot topics over the past 19 years. It's allowed us to make sure producers know what's going on and also how to engage in that process. It's allowed us to talk about new technologies, new techniques, new equipment, new things that we can use, and all of those we know have helped us build the quality of product that we're currently producing here in the United States. And when you talk about the different operations that are out there, this show has also given us a tremendous platform to showcase how cattle production in one part of the country can be very different from another part of the country. And so to be able to highlight those various operations and talk about not only the different techniques that have to be used to raise cattle there, but also the different challenges that they pose. All of those have been really great opportunities to share here on Cattlemen to Cattlemen.
Yeah, it has been a fun journey with lots of good people and lots of very interesting topics. I'm curious, while the show is ending on TV, your commitment to news and information is clearly not ending. Tell us what that's going to look like going forward.
Well, we have to talk about what we're doing. It doesn't matter how successful we are in places like Washington, D.C. If producers don't know about it, then it probably didn't happen in their mind. So we have to continue to talk about the great work that NCBA conducts day in, day out. It's just going to take a different form. And we're going to continue to rely on some tried and true strategies like the National Cattlemen magazine. We're going to focus on our podcast, the Cattlemen's Call podcast. It has grown in popularity over time. And then also our Sunday Beef Bulletin. If you don't get the Beef Bulletin, make sure you call us and give us your email address and we can get it to you, because that is a weekly update on all the work that NCBA is doing. And then also looking at a new version of Cattlemen to Cattlemen, how that may look moving forward as well. So we will continue to make sure that we're doing the outreach and the education to producers, not only NCBA members, but to the entire industry.
Obviously, the biggest news in the cattle industry has been the arrival of the new world screwworm here in the United States. Tell us a little bit about what NCBA has been doing to prepare for this eventuality.
Well, it's here, and it's something that we've been waiting on for a year and a half. And in that year and a half, it's given us a great opportunity to get prepared. And we were able to execute our response flawlessly, along with the Texas Animal Health Commission and with USDA. But we really need to showcase the work that's been done on the ground by our partners, because it wasn't just NCBA. You look at organizations like the Texas and Southwestern Cattle Raisers Association, the Texas Cattle Feeders, for example. They have been right there on the front lines, making sure that producers were also prepared and ready, and that the protocols were ready to implement. And we did it, and it's working. And fortunately, this has not become a major industry issue because of that work.
So Colin, how concerned should producers be at this point with the screwworm?
Well, it all depends on where you're at. So if you're a producer in Minnesota right now, you don't have to be concerned, because we have not seen a major industry impact due to incursion of screwworm into Texas. This really is right now for producers in Texas and the surrounding states. And it really comes down to just making sure that you're keeping an eye on what's going on. We have the products to treat and heal up our cattle and kill these larvae. So that's not the issue. This is an animal health issue that we can treat. It's just making sure that everybody everybody is aware of what to look for.
And what do you want producers to know going forward? Maybe what should be some of our talking points, even as we talk to neighbors or consumers?
So this is not a food safety issue. It's not a beef quality issue. It's not a beef supply issue. This truly is just an animal health issue. This is a pest, and we deal with this pest like we do any other pests that we have to fight back against. We have the tools to do it. The one that makes this interesting is because it does bore into live animals. But those animals do not have to die. We can treat them and save them. Matter of fact, patient zero, that calf down in Texas, is still alive and well because it was treated. It really comes down to just educating yourself on what to look for. And when you see something that is even suspicious, call your local vet. If we can stay ahead of this, it's going to really help us make sure that this does not become a far-reaching issue.
Yeah. Let's change subjects a minute, talk about summer business meeting coming up shortly. Why is the work that is done there so critical to the beef industry?
So the summer business meeting is where the work of the association takes place. Everybody loves to come to CattleCon and have fun. Summer business meeting is where you really buckle down and start looking at the policy that NCBA has. What do we stand for? And we are a grassroots organization. So in order to make sure that we as an association are being effective advocates, we have to have very clear direction from our membership. And that's what happens at summer business meetings. So this really is about focusing on the process of the association.
You mentioned grassroots, and Colin, we've talked about that all through the 19 years. Tell us once again, why is the grassroots policy-making process so critical to NCBA and the larger beef industry?
That's what gives us our strength. If it was just my opinion or the opinion of staff, it really wouldn't matter. This association is driven by the producer members. And so in order for us to make sure that we're protecting the association, protecting our members, and protecting the industry, we have to know what issues are critical. What is causing concerns? What are some opportunities? And summer business meeting allows those cattle producers to come in, debate the issue, talk about the pros and cons, and ultimately say, NCBA is going to stand for this. And then that's what we as staff do, is we take that direction and we go and implement it. But that's what gives us our strength, is the producers saying, this is where we want the association to be.
Yeah, constant message that needs to be continually commuted across the industry. One last thing, I guess, is you think about our viewers. What message would you have for them in terms of the importance of getting involved in events like the summer business meeting and just more broadly in NCBA and the organization?
There's a great quote that the world belongs to those who show up. And so if you want to make a difference, if you want to provide the leadership and the direction and make sure that your voice is heard, you have to show up. You have to get involved at the county level, at the state level, and ultimately at the NCBA level to engage. Because if you don't help be part of the process in finding a solution or a path forward, well, really, you don't have a right to complain about it if you don't. So this is about getting engaged and making sure that your voice is being heard. And the only way you can do that is to come and be a part of NCBA, our state partners, and again, even at the county level.
Thank you again for your insights today, Colin.
Thank you, Kevin.
There's still time to attend the summer business meeting. It'll be held July 12th through the 14th right here in Aurora, Colorado. You can get all the details at the website ncba.org. Still to come, we've got advice on how to make improvements to your grazing program that'll improve your bottom line. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
When the herd's hungry, John Deere balers deliver. High-capacity pickup powers through the heaviest windrows. Experience baler automation with speed, gate, and weave technology, allowing you to do a better job with less effort. Built-in features track moisture and weight, while you monitor and manage it, all from your phone or display. Because every bale matters, and so does the equipment you trust.
Join the National Cattlemen's Beef Association. NCBA is the oldest and largest national cattle industry organization working to defend your interests in Washington, D.C. And there are big benefits to being a member. You'll get news you can use in the National Cattlemen, email updates in the NCBA Beef Bulletin, plus big discounts only for NCBA members. Join by calling 866-233-3872 or online at ncba.org.
Good grazing management is about more than moving cattle from one pasture to another. When grazing is done right and with a purpose, it can improve cattle performance, strengthen the land, and help ensure the operation remains productive for generations to come. Here's a look at how practical grazing management drives long-term profitability.
Successful grazing managers share a common goal: leave the land better than they found it. That starts by understanding that stewardship and profitability aren't competing priorities. They're deeply connected.
I think that you have to be good stewards to be profitable, and it just is absolutely hand in hand with each other.
Stewardship and profitability could really go hand in hand when you're looking at a generational scale. If you're looking at ground for a 3, 4, 5 year period, you can get more cash flow if you don't do the right thing and don't do the sustainable thing. But if you look at what your parents did to gift you the resource that you got and what you have to give to your kids, on the generational scale, profitability and sustainability are really tied together.
It's really the only way that we'll be able to continue, into the future in any of this industry is taking care of the land that we've got to make our living off of. So we've got to protect the land to protect ourselves.
Grazing with a Purpose was the title of a recent Cattlemen's College session that focused on practical grazing management. It featured several former winners of the Environmental Stewardship Award who all agreed that good grazing also means thinking beyond this year's calf crop. Long-term resilience requires balancing today's profitability with tomorrow's challenges.
Land management is hugely supporting the success of our operation. We're 5th generation. We've been doing it 140 years. If you approach it with the mindset of maximizing profitability and maximizing cash flow over a 10-year period, you severely degrade the resource.
You can have high profitability for a while, but that's not going to last the markets and then the weather factors. You've got to build in some drought resilience and other with those grazing practices to be able to, you can create that resilience in the bad years.
Knowing whether your grazing practices are working requires spending time on the land, making careful observations.
Start to go out and go look at pastures and say, I like this, I don't like this. How did I get this pasture to look like this, where the cattle are doing good and everything's going well? And what did I do to this pasture that it didn't do too well? And just start to go out there and get your boots on the ground and look at what you did, and don't be afraid to say, I don't like what happened right there. What can I do to change that? Yeah, I do really like to track year over year and visually just seeing, like, standing on the soil, digging the soil with your shovel, you can really see if you are making progress or not.
I think tracking and managing data is really invaluable. I have to know where we were in order to know where we're going. And so looking at that data from the last year, I can make decisions about where I'm going to go this spring. For grazing, looking back at soil samples, I can tell where I need to go next winter to add fertility to the soil for my winter grazing. And just, it's very key to our operation.
When it comes to adopting new grazing practices, the best advice is to seek out good information, find trusted mentors, and start with manageable steps.
Once you kind of get an idea what you want to do, what you think you can do, go to your local NRCS office and talk to neighbors that have been there for a long time and learn a little bit from them and start small and go from there.
Find a mentor, find somebody that's been doing this for a while, and you don't have to do everything all at once. I had a grandma that used to always say, how do you eat the elephant? One bite at a time, and that's how I view this. Start just small and keep going.
Grazing with a Purpose is about more than managing cattle. It's about investing in the resources that'll sustain both the land and the ranches that depend on it for generations to come. Reporting for NCBA's Cattlemen to Cattlemen, I'm Russell Nemitz.
Up next, we'll talk about the value of NCBA membership with Trent Johnson of Greeley Hat Works. Stay with us.
Cattle producers across the country work hard to care for their animals and their land. The USDA's Natural Resources Conservation Service is there to help. Find out how you can work with NRCS to develop a conservation plan for your operation. Find possible funding resources for implementing conservation practices, or get free expert advice on ways to improve your farm or ranch. Visit the website nrcs.usda.gov today.
You can find all of our stories and full shows on the Cattlemen to Cattlemen YouTube channel. There are education segments, industry insights, producer profiles from around the country, and much more. Just go to youtube.com/Cattlemen to Cattlemen.
Greeley Hat Works is a longtime exhibitor at the annual NCBA trade show, providing custom fittings for attendees. We caught up with owner Trent Johnson to get his thoughts on making hats and the value of NCBA.
This is actually my 28th convention, so it's been a hot minute. This is the greatest group of hardworking, honest people around, and working trade shows literally all over the world. This is the ultimate favorite because it's just genuine, real, hardworking people, and that's what I really appreciate. And of course, providing the safest protein on the planet. One of the fun things of this show is not only getting to visit with all of the members during the trade show, but then is also giving that Greeley experience not in Greeley. So, you all have members from literally all over the world. And so being able to give them the experience of basically coming into our store, sitting in the chair, and learning about what makes a Greeley Hat Works hat different. That's what's really fun, is being able to explain and teach a little bit more about our craft, that, it's not just a widget, it's a hat, it's an extension of their personality. And so being able to build that for their heads, no matter how unique how unique their heads are. Careful. Is right. I got to make sure the customer's always right, but seldom ever is the customer actually correct. So it's just always a blessing to be able to share my experience and knowledge of hats with everybody else that actually really care about it, because it's a tool. They use it all the time, and it ends up being an extension of their personality, to where for half price I can make them look like $1 million. Getting the opportunity to build President Bush, both those hats, and then being able to present one in the Oval Office, one of the highlights of just being a hat maker, I guess. I don't know. It's just as a human, it's super exciting. And he was so genuine and real. And then I had an opportunity to build hats for him as gifts for dignitaries. So Vladimir Putin, the Emir of Kuwait, Secretary General of the United Nations, a whole bunch of them got to wear Greeley Hat Works hats with the President Bush's signature in it. So that was really cool. And that's, after being at this show for 28 years and owning Greeley Hat Works. I mean, Greeley Hat Works has been around since 1909, and I've owned it for 30 years now. This year's my 30-year anniversary. It's been fun to grow my brand with NCBA, but it's really been fun to watch how leadership, membership, everything with NCBA has grown. And that's what makes it really fun every year. We've had the opportunity to do a lot of cool things with NCBA, And one of the things I really enjoy doing is doing the regional awards for top hand for new member registration. For me, what it is acknowledging all the hard work and people going out to their neighbors and other cattle folks and just kind of spreading the gospel of the NCBA and being able to explain to them what the value is, not just to the beef industry, but also to their own personal brands. And I think that a lot of them really do a great job of promoting NCBA as an organization that helps all cattlemen.
Being part of a strong industry organization like NCBA matters. You can become a member by calling 866-233-3872 or visiting the website ncba.org. When we return, we'll wrap up this final episode of Cattlemen to Cattlemen on RFD TV. Stay with us.
Downtown Nashville, Tennessee hosts CattleCon 2027, February 2nd to the 4th. It's the cattle industry's biggest convention, packed with valuable education, outstanding speakers, networking, and fun.
Every year I'm here, I learn something new about the cow-calf sector or feeder sector, things that are super relevant to me as a cattle rancher.
And you don't want to miss the huge NCBA trade show.
The NCBA trade show is amazing because it is everything you want to see and more.
The trade show is something that you'll never experience anywhere else. It is acres of vendors and producers interacting with one another.
There's no better place for cattlemen and women to learn and connect with fellow producers from across the country. Plus, there's top-notch entertainment and information that will help the bottom line of your cattle business. Go where the beef industry meets. CattleCon 2027. Visit convention.ncba.org for more.
Cattlemen to Cattlemen debuted on RFD TV in early 2007. For almost 2 decades, this show welcomed viewers into the heart of the cattle industry, sharing its challenges, triumphs, and traditions. Here's a look back at some of our favorite moments.
Next on NCBA's Cattlemen to Cattlemen.
We have to make sure that we are continuing to deliver this message, that if you ate today, you owe that to an American farmer or rancher.
U.S. Agriculture Secretary Mike Johans talks about the importance of the cattle industry and discusses the challenges ahead.
And now, NCBA's Cattlemen to Cattlemen with your host, Susie Ross.
Hello and welcome to NCBA's Cattlemen to Cattlemen. I'm Susie Ross, and I'll be here each week to bring you information that every cattle producer needs.
It's amazing that what began as Boston Chicken over 20 years ago has not only changed its name to Boston Market, but they began adding beef to their menu. As a matter of fact, today their roasted top sirloin product is one of their most popular menu items.
We top it with that for your eating.
Aha, yeah, now that's my kind of salad. Hello and welcome to the first ever live edition of NCBA's Cattlemen to Cattlemen. Ahead, the experts from the National Cattlemen's Beef Association will take your calls on everything from international trade to dust regulations to consumer demand for beef. Welcome back to the special live edition of NCBA's Cattlemen to Cattlemen. We're coming to you live from our studios here in Washington, D.C. to celebrate this, the 200th episode of our television show. We're also discussing policy here in Washington, D.C. It's a key focus each and every day for the National Cattlemen's Beef Association.
Rigor mortis, no just tense. Someone give me 50 cents. Anybody give a dime? Hurry up, there ain't much time. Come on, boys, use your head. Dang it, Kevin. Now she's dead.
Baxter, I remember you telling that the very first time I saw you live back in 1983 at a Junior National, and it's funny every time I hear it.
Well, the great thing about my stories is I don't have to make them up.
I think this is a real unique opportunity for cattle producers to sit in the comfort of their own homes and really be able to get a bird's eye view. Or what are the key political issues that are impacting my business? What are some key takeaways from a production and management standpoint that I can learn? And as importantly, what are some of the special interests? How can I connect and see what other ranch and farm families are doing across the United States that I may be able to implement in my own operation? And with that, we come to the end of this chapter for Cattlemen to Cattlemen. As we reflect on more than 1,000 episodes of our show, we're grateful for the opportunity we've had to share the news, discuss the issues, and introduce you to the people who shape our industry. I hope you've enjoyed these segments and stories as much as we've enjoyed bringing them to you. Rest assured that while you'll no longer find us on TV, you'll still have access to news, information, producer profiles, and industry insights on our YouTube channel. So as we sign off for this final time, on behalf of the entire Cattlemen to Cattlemen team, I simply say thank you. Thank you for welcoming us onto your farms and ranches and into your homes. Thank you for sharing your time, your stories, your pictures, your families, and your lives with us. I can honestly say it's been the honor of my life to represent an industry, a product, and most importantly, a group of people that I value and respect so deeply. From all of us at Cattlemen to Cattlemen, happy trails. God bless you, and may God bless the U.S. beef cattle industry.